Alright, my fellow Beamer heads, today I'm going to show you how I installed a Bluetooth module in my E34 radio. Unfortunately, I don't know the exact model code for this one or whatever, but I'm going to show you how I did it, and it was very affordable and pretty straightforward as far as electrical mods go and whatnot. I do already have this disassembled, but I'll walk through how I did it. To pull apart the whole thing, you just need a real sharp Phillips, and all of the bolts are Phillips, just various different sizes, so make sure you keep track of what goes where. So first things first, you got little pop tabs on the side. You take these screws out. It's two right here. You pop the tabs, this lifts up. Once that's out of the way, you've got a screw right there, here, two here, here, and then you've got one on the side over here. Sorry, my wife's shit's falling all over. Oh my god. Whatever. So basically, you pull that off after you get the bolts off on the back, which exposes your backside, which very gently you'll do some up and down action on the side. Mine's already disconnected, so it came out real easy, but very gently pull this out. You do not want to bend these pins down here. You'll have a rough day if you do. We'll set that aside. Not really. What you're going to want to do is you're going to flip to the back. It's going to be labeled here. All of it's labeled. What you're going to do is you're going to look for IGN, ignition. So that's going to be your switched 12 volt. So when you turn the key, it sends 12 volts to it. That way it doesn't drain your car having it hooked up to direct 12 volt. But anyways, you find your ignition, and then you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pins over, and you've got one ground, and then the 6th pin is also a ground. So 6 pins over to the right, there's ground pins. And what I did to get around soldering, because this is really meticulous small stuff to solder on, very easy to mess it up if you don't know what you're doing. And I'll be the first to admit I'm not very good at soldering. I can do it, but not very good. So what I did to get around that is I took my leads, twist them up real good, and I popped my positive in here in the ignition, and then the negative in the ground, obviously, and those run up to here, which I kind of just fed through a little hole back here. Runs up to your positive and your negative here, and then you've got an auxiliary output. Never mind, that's an auxiliary input. My bad, I'm sorry. You got the output right here at the top. You plug into that. It comes with these little pigtails, which makes things pretty cool. You plug that in, and then we move over to here. And then what I did right here is you've got a left and a right, which, left red, right white, and then the middle is a ground, which is not needed for this application, but it just came on the little plug, so that's why it's there. It's not being used down here. So what I did to keep things simple, yet again, to keep the soldering out of the picture, is I took my right input right here and my left input. I'm not sure how well you can see it on the video, but they are labeled on the chips or the circuit board, so it's pretty straightforward. You got right and left, and then you want to coordinate right and left up to here. And what I did is I unpulled it's similar to a ribbon connection right here, but it's just, a couple pins. So what I did is I pulled the right and the left, and I bent them outwards towards the back, and then I was able to stab this connector on, and it just so happened to fit pretty much perfectly on those pins, so it's not going nowhere. And hooked it up to the audio out right here, so it is sending audio out through the Bluetooth module, yada yada yada, through the inputs on the stereo. Now originally when I started this project, I had intended Bluetooth to work only when you had a cassette in there, but it turned out to be a little bit more tricky and complex than I originally intended on. So basically, Bluetooth works whether you're on cassette mode, AM, FM, wideband. It works on all of them. Because you're tapping directly into the inputs of all of those. So that's that. And then what I did here is to finalize this is there's this little area back here, and I kind of just shimmied it in there and made it fit, and it fits damn perfect. You can button up the entire thing. This is my second time taking it apart so that I could kind of show a little how-to. I mean, I'm not very good at how-tos, so don't judge me. This is my first one. I think I may also be one of the few people that's ever done this on an E34 radio, so I hope that I could help you guys. And yeah, so here's a video. I got my key turned. So far nothing. We flick the switch, you see the very faint blue. That's the Bluetooth receiver. It has a LED on it as an indicator. It went solid, meaning it connected to my phone. And I'd show you music, but I can't.